Hello and welcome to the Hume podcast, Rolled and Long. For those of you who don't know what Hume is, a recruitment training business co-founded by myself, Ed Khan, and Laura Oakes.
And each week we're going to be giving you 10-minute snippets into our world of recruitment, tips and tricks to help you on your journey as an agency recruiter, and hopefully some laughs along the way too. Hope you guys enjoy.
Okay,
Hi.
here we go. Poddy episode number blah blah blah. Don't know.
Don't know. Trying to find little nooks and crannies in our office space to make it look really artsy.
I know.
Beautiful colours.
This took ages to set up, by the way, guys. So hopefully everyone appreciates it.
Alright. What
So
are we
guys,
talking about
welcome to Lucy first. I think this is your first Poddy episode.
It is, yeah, supernatural. I'm not nervous at all.
Not even looking at the camera.
No.
So today, Lucy and I were talking this morning, and something that keeps on coming up again and again, and I think it's indicative of what's going on in the market. But it's how do you cope with a shift in the market? And God, how many recruiters have we trained now on the new recruiter course?
500, what I say, estimate over the last couple of years? Yeah.
And I think in that time, what you and I were sort of mentioning is that when the times were amazing and agencies were completely fine, don't need to do BD, the new recruiters over the last 2 years haven't really flexed their BD muscles.
No, and we haven't seen a lot of, I guess, senior recruiters move around. It's been an influx of new recruiters coming into the market, and I think we kind of looked on average the amount of kind of new recruiters came in even last year, and we kind of estimated that we trained like 60-70% of them.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a lot of people that haven't seen changes in the market that have come in at a time of like post-COVID, which was even new to you and I, like or other recruiters. So yes, we've been through changes before, but new recruiters haven't. And
it's quite scary because then they're having to upskill on areas of the job that they perhaps didn't need to do at the start.
No.
So you and I have both been through changes. You've recruited in London, I've recruited across a couple of downturns. What do you think was your biggest learning from your first downturn and how you had to shift?
I think when I started in recruitment, it was in a downturn. So in some ways, I feel like that was like I got to see the BD side. I had to do it straight away.
The worst of recruitment from
and
day
I
one.
fucking hated it so much because I was so nervous, and all I knew was to pick up the call and introduce myself and ask if they have any jobs, which was usually no, which was horrible. It probably in the long run served me well. God, keep me thick skinned. That's a benefit. But I would say that then seeing it flourish, I guess I saw it the other way around. So I got to see, I don't want to say how much easier it was, but I got to see actually the work that I needed to do to get there made the other side a lot easier.
You'd almost prefer that though, because then you've seen how tough it can be.
Yeah.
And then going into an easy market, and then inevitably it bounces back to the other side. So you've seen both sides.
Yeah.
I think I saw it in a good time, not a boom time, when I started. And then it shifted. And I was like, holy fuck. I'm not sure I want to do this job. Because at the time I was like, I don't think I'm good at BD because I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
But for me, what turned it around for me was my boss, who's an absolute gun, an absolute BD machine, and she never stopped doing BD, even in the good times, the bad times. She kept it consistent. And so that's kind of was my blueprint. She kept me along and sort of coaxed me and pushed me and was like, you're going to have to get used to this. There's no getting away from it. Sometimes it will be great. You won't need to do as much, but you're always going to have to do BD. But I think the advice for anyone listening that hasn't seen a downturn is, one, you have to accept that this is the lay of the land in recruitment, and it will fluctuate. We're never going to ever be in an equilibrium where there's enough candidates and enough jobs.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. It will be and weighted in one way or another.
Yeah. What would you say then is your advice? Because I think it's like a lot of managers are saying, well, you know, we've seen the change before, like we know how to deal with this. We know that it's going to stay the same. There might be slight shifts of the candidate client side, but for what would your advice then be to managers that have hired a mass kind of increase of rookies?
That's a good question, because that's a lot of people. People that have hired rookies, and now they're not doing all the BD. It's like, well, what have you been doing to help them along? Are you internally training them? Are you championing BD practices? Are you really laying it out? Because we can forget, as experienced consultants all the time and experienced leaders, you go, okay, downturns happen, we need to do more BD. It makes easy sense, right, to us, because we've been through it.
Yeah.
But as the rookie who hasn't been through it, or the inexperienced person who's maybe a couple of years in, they don't know what they need to be doing. So if you're not clearly helping them and laying out what success now looks like, then you can't expect them just to do it on their own because they used to build. It's like, well, the market was different. And so I'd say internal L&D, if you need it, external L&D, and a clear roadmap to what business development looks like and what the blueprint for success is. And if those three things aren't there, you can't expect them to build. Some of them might naturally pick it up.
Yeah.
Most of them will not.
It's got to be a habit, doesn't it? Or like a behaviour day in, day out. And when you have been running on a post-COVID industry, which has been very transactional and very much just about kind of, not everyone's been CV flicking, but it's just been mass. So yeah, it's not a habit yet. So we need to be creating them as managers.
100%. And we have got a new resource on our website under our resources section. I did this article that I wrote this morning off the back of a BD webinar that we ran. So please have a look through it, because it details what you do, you should and shouldn't do. How to set yourself up for a good, successful business development strategy. So take a look through it. If you need a hand, give Lucy a call. That's Lucy, who's ignoring the camera.
Oh no, that fairness. Oh my god,
what she looks like. But yeah, if you need anything, shout out, and we will see you again next week.
See you soon.